Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon White 2. So, in the last part, we officially met up with Professor Juniper in person. And she decided to, she has decided to hand herself off to the Celestial Tower, which is where we are going to go. So that now that we can meet over there, but it is also a good place for us to start training it to but it is definitely a good thing for us to be able to train up our team before we get us off before he hands us off to the Mistralton Gym. Okay, everyone. Now as we are once again gonna be going through Route 7. Now structurally, Route 7 has not been changed within the 2 years. But then, as for the Pokemon that you can find here. Now, as for the Pokemon that's still stuck around, now we still got Watchhawk, Tranquil, some Substrikas, Deerlings, and Fungus, and only during the winter season, only during the winter season you'll be able to get yourself a Cubchoo. So, considering that you cannot get Vanilla until much later. Meaning that this is indeed your very first route in the game where you'll be able to get yourself an ice type. If you still want to get yourself an ice type Pokemon, then Cubchoo is definitely your more quickest way for you to be able to do that. Yeah. But anyways, as I said previously, the only way that you'll be able to get yourself a Blitzel like this time around is if you breed a Substrika. So this route is definitely your first route in the game this time if you want to be able to get yourself a Substrika. And then as for the new Pokemon that are now here, we now have the immortal enemies of Zangoose and Seviper. That's all, everyone. You can now get both Zangoose and Seviper during the base game this time around. And then as for the rustling grass, it is still the same as it was last time. That of course be now. This is also a route where you'll be able to get encounter more Audinoes, any Molgas, and as well as pheasants. And then as for the Pokemon that you can find swarming here. Now last time they were Centrets. But now in Black 2 White 2, those Centrets have evolved into Furrets. This time you'll find Furrets, instead of Centrets this time around. And then as for the Pokemon that you can find within the Hidden Grotto, now you'll be able to find Zangoose, Seviper, Watchhawk, and Cubchoo, there. And now for the ability that Cubchoo gets is rattled. Watchhawk Watchhog gets, Watchhog will get the ability, analytic. And then as for Zangoose, he'll get the ability a toxic boost. And lastly for Seviper, he'll get and then lastly for Seviper, he will get the ability Infiltrator. So essentially, if you want to get those Pokemon with those like abilities, then this right here is the place for you to be able to get them. Okay, now, as I just said, structurally, this route has not been changed. But there are some stuff that actually like have been changed. For example, that house way over to our left over there. Yeah, now if as you recall last time, yeah, there was a hiker. Now who he'll say now he will trade you his Emolga for your Boldor. But it wasn't exactly a very good deal, considering, yeah, he will essentially get a fully, meaning that he will essentially get himself a fully like evolved Gigalith instead of you. But however, with in Black and White 2, they actually reversed that trade. Yeah, so now you are able to, and now he'll say, now he will trade your Emolga for his Gigalith. So yeah, I would say that is definitely a much more better deal than last time. Yeah, so essentially, yeah, so that you really don't have to bother with trying to like trade with others online. Yeah, so that you'll be able to, yeah, meaning that you'll be able to, get yourself a Gigalith a much more like easier like way this time. And then what is also different is that now as for the other house, that is over to the right of over to the right of where you go in order for you to be able to get yourself to a Twister Mountain. Now there will still be a woman who will go who will like heal up your Pokemon. But if, as you recall last time, now there will be a guy who will talk about the forces of nature legendary Pokemon. And then once you have left the house, then there will be a huge storm, revealing the legendary Tornadus for Pokemon Black, and like or Thunderus in Pokemon White. And then, just before you hang yourself off to Route 10, you'll be told that those same legendary Pokemon will now start to swarm like around the region. And then, in order for you to be able to be able to obtain the third one, that of course being a Landorus, you would need to have both a Tornadus and Thunderus with you. But however, in Black 2 White 2, those three legendary Pokemon are nowhere to be found this time. So you may be questioning, do I seriously have to trade from Black and White just so I can utilize them here? Oh, hello! Okay, so apparently, right after I just caught my own Cubchoo, there is now the Cubchoo in the freaking hidden grotto. Wow, that is surely something, huh? But anyways, everyone. Now, as I was saying. Now, since you are unable to capture them this time around, you may be thinking, do I seriously have to trade them from a Black and White in order for me to be able to utilize them? Well, yes, you can. But however, there is indeed another way for you to be able to obtain those 3 legendary Pokemon and send them over to Black 2 and White 2. And that is where the Pokemon Dream Radar game actually comes in. So yeah, everyone, that's right. I am once again gonna be talking about that game again. Yeah, now this right here is what I was waiting in for. Yeah, this right here is what I was waiting it for. Yeah, now I'm finally gonna be telling the main reason as to why you should really... The main reason anyone would ever own that Pokemon Dream Radar game is because it is not only the only way for you to be able to get the only other way for you to be able to get Tornadus, Thunderus, and Landorus within Black 2 White 2. But however, it is not just that you get them. The Tornadus, Thunderus, and Landorus that you find in the Dream Radar are actually got different appearances to them. Yeah, that's right. Right, everyone. Now, for those of you that don't know, Tornadus, Thunderus, and Landorus, you actually get brand new forms in Black 2 White 2 called Ethereal forms. And in order for you to be able to obtain them, you actually have to get them within the Dream Radar game. So yeah, you essentially need to have another title, yeah, in order for you to be able to obtain those 3 forms. well, more so in the beginning portion anyway. Now, and then, as for the abilities that these 3 get, Tornadus will get. We'll get to the ability of Regenerator. Thunderus will get the ability of Voltazorb. And Landorus, and then Landorus will get the ability Intimidate. So yeah, and I'm gonna say this right now. Yeah, the new Therian form of Landorus essentially broke the meta. Yeah, he really did. Considering that not only was he did have really good attack power, combined with his ability, Intimidate, and yeah, that friggin' Landorus was essentially everywhere in tournaments. Yeah, I don't think there was any other major team that really did not actually get to utilize that Ethereum Landorus. But anyways, so yeah, and then I believe, now I don't recall that you actually get the item with it in a black 2 and white 2, but I definitely want to say, now I believe started in Gen 6, or maybe in this game. Now you can actually change the forms of those 3 Pokemon. If you just so happen to have the item called the Reveal class. So then you'll be able to change their forms whenever you felt like it. Now again, I don't fully recall if you can actually find the Reveal glass within Black 2, White 2, but I definitely know that it was suppressed within the within the Gen 6 and 7 titles. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I am like pretty sure of that. Excuse me. Jeez. Okay, everyone. Now, even though that I just talked over even though I just went over those 3 legendaries, and I said that we're not going to be able to capture them within a Black 2, White 2, but however, you can still get those 3 registered within your Pokédex. And that is where the guy who talks about those 3 Pokemon actually comes in. Now, if you just happen to talk to him within that house, then he'll talk about those 3 Pokemon, as he will of course will show you like pictures, and he'll show you the pictures of those 3 Pokemon. Now, which will of course mean that you can, which will of course mean that you have indeed registered them into your Pokédex. So yeah, that will be the only time in this whole entire playthrough that you will ever see of those 3. Well, actually, there is one other instance where you will see both Tornadus and Thunderus, but I'm definitely not gonna say where it is yet. Yeah, but I will definitely will show that off once we actually get to that. Yeah. Okay, everyone, and I think, with that said, yeah, I'm thinking that is all I really have to say in terms of, like, Route 7, and as well as those 3 legendary Pokemon. I guess if there's one other thing that I do need to talk about, is that last time I forgot to mention is that during the last video, yeah, I forgot to talk about the Mistralton City's music. Now it is still the same track as it was the last time. But I still like it. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Now, since I've just about covered everything that I really wanted to cover for the time being, I'll once again go over our Pokemon anime appearances. Okay, everyone. So next up on the list is Magmar. Now, during the Kanto series, Yeah, Magmar only received only for one appearance. And that was the end, and that was during Ash's gym battle, a gym battle against Blaine. But then the Johto anime gave Magmar a few more episodes of screen time. But then the Hoenn anime only gave Magmar one appearance in that series as well. But then as for the Sinnoh anime, I would say the Sinnoh anime definitely gave Magmar the most main appearances in any series. Yeah, mostly because of one character that you see within the Sinnoh anime. Also utilized one, just like the Buzz. Yeah. But then Magmar didn't show up once within the Unova or the Kalos anime. But then Magmar definitely got a few more appearances again within the Alola series. Now. And then during Journeys, and lastly with Journeys, Magmar only showed up twice. Magmar has yet to make an appearance within Horizons. Honestly, I really do wish that I really do wish that Magmar got to make even more appearances. Because I really do love from Magmar. Well, more so for his evolution anyway. Yeah, that of course being a Magmortar. Okay, everyone. So next up on the list is Cubchoo. Now, so right. But first off, as you're seeing as well. Now, I believe this is essentially the same call. Now, I believe, just like last time, as you get closer to Twist Mountain, yeah, now, you received a call from your mother. Yeah, now, this actually happens twice within the prequels, here too. Yeah, but as I was saying, now next up on the list is Cubchoo. Now, during the entirety of the Unova anime, I believe Cubchoo only got four appearances. And then while it got to make a few background appearances within the Kalos anime, and then it didn't show up once within the entirety of the it didn't show up once in the entirety of the Alola series. Then Cubchoo did get to return for Journeys, but it was only for one episode. And then Cubchoo actually did get to show up for at least 4 episodes. At least four episodes of Horizon so far. Oh, hello! Yeah, seeing a Seviper and Zangoose working together. Yeah, you really don't see that too often, huh? Well, that is if you also count that one episode off of the Unova anime where two members of Team Plasma actually utilized them for above Zangoose and Seviper. Yeah, and they were so focused on targeting N that they just didn't even seem to bother with each other whatsoever. Yeah. But anyways, yep, and down goes. Yep, and down goes. That's Seviper too. Now I would continue things with Route 7, but considering that there are still a few, I believe there are still at least some 4 or 5 more trainers for me to face before we hand us off to Celestial Tower. So I believe, after this fight's done, which it is. Yeah, I'm actually gonna save. For the for rest of this route for the next one. Yeah, but as with that said, we shall continue on for the next one. And so to then, I'll see you guys next time.